Yo, what's up guys? Universal Mastery. So what I do on my channel is I break down the occult sciences so that you can take them and you can apply them in your day-to-day life and get real practical results. So what I'm going to be talking about in today's video is something that I think really needs to be said, okay? Because you don't hear too many people talking about this. So what I'm going to be talking about is the truth about astrology. And specifically on that, figuring out how much do planets truly affect you. Stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing first, go and check out my Patreon. The Patreon link is going to be at the very top of my description. Literally, you go to my description, it's going to be that first link right at the top. It's going to say My Patreon. If you subscribe to my Patreon, if you are tier 2 and up, that is going to tier 2 is going to give you access to one exclusive video weekly that will not be on my YouTube channel. And it will give you access to communicate with me whenever you want about the occult. Okay, so to be tier 2, that is going to cost $9.95 a month, which literally equates to less than $1 a day. Okay, so there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to afford that. Then there's tiers that go above that. I'm not going to go into it right now. You can go and check out for yourself. Then drop down to the link below that. That'll take you to my Streamlabs merch where I have a Hecate sigil shirt. Okay, if you go there, you can place your order and they will ship this right to your door. Very comfortable and very powerful shirt. Okay, so going right into it. Here we go. So actually, I want to take a sip first. Okay. Okay, so this is the thing. This is the thing that I feel like is really misunderstood when it comes to astrology. Now, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to say astrology is not real. I would be a fucking idiot if I said that. Astrology is 110% effective. To study astrology would be amazing. I definitely highly recommend you do. I definitely highly recommend you figure out your horoscope. I highly recommend you figure out your natal chart. I highly recommend that you dive into Vedic astrology and just really figure out how the planets affect you, how the houses work, and then everything in the nature of the conjunctions. When it comes to conjunctions and aspects, that's what I'm still working on. I actually recently started diving into astrology, so I am no master at it by any means, but for those of you that do know, I do practice magic. So I practice black magic. So I do have direct experience with planetary energies and daemons that reside in planes, in ethereal planes that govern and work in those energies as well. It's kind of hard to understand, but they work in these ethereal planes that have a lot of influence by planetary energies as well. So you can work with a specific daemon or a specific deity or an entity, and that same daemon, deity, or entity can take you to that plane where that planetary energy is. So you're then going to be affected by that planetary energy, and while you're in that plane, that daemon, deity, entity is going to teach you things, train you, teach you lessons, show you things, reveal things, test you, challenge you, all things of that nature. So what I wanted to say though, keeping it on topic about this video, when it comes to astrology, is the fact that just because you look up your natal birth chart, right, and you may have a planet that is in a great position, right? You may have a planet that's like, that's amazing, I love that, cool, awesome, that's great then. But then over here, you may have a planet that's in a bad position. And for those of you that have a little knowledge on this, you would know that there are some planets that are in positions that literally make your life harder, essentially. Okay, that's how the majority, the masses look at it. It makes your life harder, and you kind of got the bad end of the stick. Okay, but in reality, I'm going to tell you the truth here from someone who works with these energies directly, and it is going to come down to a certain type of person. Okay, it's going to come down to a certain type of attitude and a mindset that a person or an individual adept has. So let's say that you look at your chart, your planetary chart, and everything, like you have so many planets that are just out of whack. Lots of things that are just fucked up. You just do not like the way it's looking. And then that may stick with you a little bit, and it may be in your consciousness like, fuck, man, like I already got the bad end of the stick. Why even try and be great? You know what I mean? Why even try and pursue greatness or what I truly want to pursue? I already got the bad end of the stick. Like, let me just play out this role. See, that's the worst thing that you could possibly do is let that be a trap for you. Just because your planets are in positions that work against you doesn't mean that you should by any means let that be your life's path or not try to be great, because in reality the truth is that's not true. A lot of the times, and this is real, this is honestly speaking from someone who works with devils, okay, from someone who works with deities and entities and spirits, myself, that bring negative energy, that literally challenge you to a point where if you can't pass that challenge or come to the conclusion of whatever challenge it is that they put on you, you can actually lose your mind or you can actually die. You get what I'm saying? Like, I work with energies that are no joke. So from what I'm going to tell you, please take this sincerely and take this and really listen to the practicality of what I'm saying here. When you have a planet that works against you in your chart, that doesn't mean that's a bad thing. That just means that you have to work harder in a certain area of your life to push through that. Okay? Just because you have a certain planet in a certain area of your chart that affects you in a negative way, negative is not bad. Okay? Once again, you have the dark feminine energies. That's a really dark, negative, chaotic energy. But I work with it heavily because in that negative energy, there's all potential. If you didn't know that, chaos is negative in nature, and chaos is all potential in nature at the same time. Just because something's negative doesn't make it evil or bad. It's just a different type of energy. It may not be comfortable. That is true. We can all agree on that. But just because it's not comfortable doesn't mean that that's not going to bring something that is comfortable or like the most comfortable. The more uncomfortable you can get in your life, the more you start to balance yourself on the poles, okay? On the poles of balance. So you'll get a contrast for what you do like, and you will have more gratitude and feel even more euphoric or satisfied or better because you've experienced that negative. So that's just one thing that I want to throw out there. When you have a planet that's in a negative, let's say, position, that's not a bad thing. That actually is an important thing. Okay, my planets, I have a lot of good planets, and I do have some bad planets. My natal chart is very balanced. But I know there are people that look at theirs and they're like, fuck, man, like, it's just all these bad planets. And then there's some people that look at theirs and they're like, oh, I have all these great planets. So it's like, you know, it's not like you were just born fucked, okay? Everything can be transmitted, okay? This is what a sorcerer would tell you, okay? This is what like a warlock would tell you, is you can take anything and you can form it into whatever you want it to be. Okay, it may take extra practice and it may take extra effort, but when you get it and when you learn it, you get it and you learn it. Meaning that you will understand how real it really is, and then nothing else really can affect you because you realize you are an emanation of everything around you. So in other words, you are carrying all the planets in you. And throughout your life, if you start to pursue your path seriously, and especially when it comes to your spiritual path, meaning your deeper meanings, your deeper purposes, your deeper thoughts, your deeper feelings, your deeper knowings, when you start to dive into those or try and actively pursue those, when you try to look for knowledge that will uncover these things in you, then you are also transitioning your own natal birth chart. In other words, you may have been born at certain time frames and have this specific natal alignment for your planets, but as you evolve, as you progress, and when I say that, I'm not saying that lightly, I actually mean as you evolve. Some people aren't evolving, they're just living. and they're not doing what they should be doing. They're just surviving, okay? And they are locking themselves into their chakras, right? Because the planets are aligned with the chakras. They're locking themselves in with their chakras, and they're not trying to work on their chakras. They're not trying to spin their chakras. They're not trying to transcend their chakras. Therefore, those planets that are in those birth alignments are forever going to rule them. But remember, we carry the planets in us, so we can control those planets and how they interact with us. So those planets won't just directly rule us. Remember, we're raised from the very beginning in religion that there is a higher being and we need to submit to it and never try and transcend it, right? Are you guys making these connections too? Okay, so the goal is that you want to understand that you carry all the planets in your system. Your body is the tree of life, and we are the elements. This is the water, this is the fire, this is the air, my feet are the roots. Okay, this is powerful stuff. We carry all the elements in us as well. Therefore, we have all the tools and the knowings and the powers that we need to realize that we are our literal own creator beings, our own gods, essentially. So as you start to pursue this path of actual spiritual evolution and physical evolution, then you will start to transcend your birth chart. So those planetary alignments, those chakras that have locked you into the being that you are for a long time of your life, they will actually start to change. They will start to change, meaning that your planetary alignments will change. Okay, they will alter. So if you have one bad alignment here on your chart, then that alignment comes to test you, right? If that alignment comes to test you with that negative energy, and you keep pursuing your path and you keep evolving and you keep trying to be the healthiest you can be, you keep trying to be the best you can be, after you've worked through that planet, that changes the being that you are. It changes you on an internal level so that that planet will never affect you that same way again. You are forever changed after that. Okay, I want you to understand that. And just to throw this out here, I have a video on dissolving the chakras. I highly recommend you check it out. The goal, the ultimate goal, and this is not obviously going to be for everybody because not everyone is ready for this, but the ultimate goal is to dissolve your chakras. Okay? Chakras are the way that people trigger you. Chakras are the way that people can manipulate you because they're tapping into your chakras. Your chakras are your pinpoints that are saying, here, touch me here and fucking arouse me, make me laugh, piss me off, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the chakras do. So the goal is you want to dissolve your chakras and see outside of them. So that would be literally seeing your ego, seeing the person you are with no chakras, and then transforming that into an energy body. So you can take those chakras that you've dissolved, and it takes a lot of work to do that, but you can, and then you turn it into an energy body. So you just have this energy field. For me, it's like in my back. It's like near my lower back. I have this energy field. And yeah, I mean, that's honestly one of the best ways I can say it. It's like this sphere of energy rather than having all these different chakras. It's just this one combined sphere of energy, and it moves through my body, and it just channels through my body and comes right out my head and in reverse comes down. And you know, that also connects to my own personal daemon, which is my own spiritual being. I've created a spiritual being for myself, which would be my higher self, but I actually look at it as a very powerful entity and a powerful being. Now, this is a whole nother topic, but this is the key. These are the things that you want to get to, okay? And I actually have a video that I'm going to be uploading pretty soon about awakening your daemon, which is going to be on my Patreon. So definitely make sure you check that out. This is what the great work is. This is literally the most powerful thing you can do in magic itself, is awaken your own divine intelligence. Is literally bring to life your own higher self. That is the most powerful thing you can do. Hands down. So yeah, so throwing that once, just to kind of like run it back again and review what we went over. You can change your planetary alignments. Once again, not everyone is going to do that. Some people will stay in that stagnant state where they're just constantly being affected by the planets and they have no control over it. And then there will be others that think the other direction. They see the crowd go left and then they choose to go right. Okay, and those people are going to move forward and they're going to realize I can tap into this power and I can arrange it within myself. I can literally create myself. Okay, that is why we're here. We're here to come to that realization that we have that ability. We can transform ourselves. We're not locked into anything. Yes, when we're born, we're essentially locked into this foundation of who we are and what kind of personality we have and what characteristics we may have and obtain. But then you get to a certain knowing, you get enough knowledge, right? The Adam and Eve, you eat the apple, and then you realize I can do anything. I can be free. And then you eat from that tree, you become free. You realize you are the tree. Your body is the tree. And you can transcend those planets within yourself. And then you can tap into those planetary energies and start to guide them. Okay? So other than that, I'm going to wrap it up here. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, also hit the notification bell because I'm posting videos as often as I can. And make sure, once again, you go and check out the Patreon. The Patreon is going to be the first link in the description. Then below that, it'll take you to my Hecate sigil shirt merch. That's going to be the second link below my Patreon. Then the third link is going to take you to my Facebook community where I want to get a bunch of powerful people together that are like-minded. So make sure you also go and check that out as well. Okay? You're going to go to the Facebook community. It's going to say join this private group or something like that. I think that's what I said. Private group here. I think that's what I pinned on the wall. Click that link right when you get to the Facebook page. It'll take you to the private group. Request a join and I will add you in. And other than that, that's going to wrap it up, guys. So have a great rest of the day or night wherever you are. Peace.